Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we are jumping down into the desktop to take a good look at everything Bitcoin. What has been going on most recently with BTC from a price action perspective and a fundamental news perspective as well. Now guys, as I get into this video, if you find it useful, informative, then hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to have stumbled across the content and this is the first time to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and you are going to be kept up to date with all of the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Now guys, if you haven't joined us in Discord, that is where the party is happening. Links in the description down below. We do a lot more content for Discord, lots more technical analysis, etc. So why not check it out? Fantastic community, talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free. Links in the description down below. Right, let's jump on down into the desktop and get right on into what's going on here with Bitcoin. And I'm going to start things off with basically Bitcoin being up over 8% as Biden obviously announces the executive order on cryptocurrencies. So I'm sure that a lot of you guys will be already familiar with this, but if not, I will link this into the description down below as well, so you get a good idea over what is going on. There are a couple of sentences in there that are probably a little bit more concerning, but for the most part, it's overall actually relatively positive, right? See if I can find the actual kind of segments here. But here you go. So the United States must maintain technological leadership in this rapidly growing space, supporting innovation while mitigating the risks for consumers, businesses, and broader financial systems and the climate. I think that's relatively good statement, but there are a couple of things in there that are potentially worded in a quite alarming way. One obviously being is the risks to the existing financial systems, right? And ultimately, I think a lot of that comes down to trying to make sure that the USD is, of course, the global reserve currency and a lot of that kind of stuff. Obviously, depending on what side of the fence you sit on, that's a big deal or not a big deal, right? If they were over in the States, I guess that's a big deal to you guys. But, if you're over in Russia or China, I don't think they really want that so much, right? I'm on the fence. I don't really mind either way. CBDCs, USD, they're all relatively the same kind of thing, right? Control from a government perspective. So that is a little bit concerning that they want to regulate cryptocurrency in a way that, protects the current system in a roundabout way, right? So there is that as an issue. On that side of things, though, when it comes to regulations, if they're healthy regulations, they are not too bad. And to kind of get a good idea as to what's actually going on with that, we have this piece here, right? So Dubai adopts initial crypto law, established independent authority for oversight. Now, this is a slightly different take on it, right? Because, everyone kind of really focuses in on the US side of things, but obviously there are a lot of, other big players in the world, right? And Dubai is up there, Abu Dhabi, obviously. You obviously have China with their digital yen and whatnot. But here, when it comes to, Dubai, what they're saying is, the future belongs to whoever wants to design it, right? This is the tweet from Mohammed there. Now, today, through the virtual assets law, we seek to participate in the design of the new and rapidly growing global sector, right? And the independent authority, he continued, will oversee the development of the best business environment in the world for virtual assets in terms of regulation, license, governance, and in line with local and global financial systems. So there it is again, right? You have this kind of common thread where these governments around the world, they don't want to necessarily lose control over things. So you are going to see CBDCs come in a really big way, and that's going to be, their kind of take on it all. And what that actually might mean long term, I think is still yet to really be decided. At least, general public won't know about it for a while. But it isn't the first time that CBDCs or, regulation in cryptocurrencies has been spoken about. It wasn't that long ago that, in the UK, the House of Commons, they were discussing CBDCs. And we also see a lot of mainstream media also picking up on central bank digital currencies, etc. So it's an interesting kind of take. Now, obviously, some of this is good news, right? It's good to see that, some kind of regulatory framework might be put in place to help, grow this sector, right? And that actually relates across to the chart. So we've seen a bit of a bump here when it comes to Bitcoin. So as you can see, from that low point just up to that high point about here, we can see it's grown up at about 11.7%, right? Greater than the 8% that the article did articulate. But we can also articulate, what's going on here. We were expecting a B wave low. That seems to have now potentially come in. We also want to go higher than A to confirm the C wave up. And we'll talk about that in a moment. So this is actually an impulsive move to the upside. We're actually in the fourth wave, I believe, right now. So we can actually break this down a little bit and see what's been going on here with Bitcoin. Now we've got a couple of ways we can count this, and I think for the most part, I think I want to count it as an ABC here. And then an ABC just in here as a small kind of sell-off, and then we kick into an impulsive break at this point. So we actually have a wave 1 here, wave 2, we move up into this wave 4, down into up to wave 3, down into a wave 4, and then we'll be pushing up into a fifth wave higher. Okay, now there's a couple, as I said, there's a couple of ways we could count it. There's that way, which actually doesn't look the neatest, so let me just correct that by taking this one off, and we'll assume that this C wave low here, and this was the reversal, this becomes wave 1. Yeah, that would become wave 1, that would be wave 2, this all becomes wave 3, then we have a wave 4 going up into a wave 5. So we'll pop that it'll be down here. That looks a little bit neater, and I like the look of that one a little bit better. Okay, cool. So I'll pop this right on here as our third wave. Okay, so from this, it means that we have a fifth wave unless invalidated, right? So what we're going to do is we want to draw in what that might look like and where that fifth wave is probably going to go. Okay, cool. So that's about a so it's a $43,000 range. Okay, 43,176, and there is resistance right up there at 43,500. So we want to be kind of cautious over that. Now it's possible that we do get that a real big impulsive break and we go to a 2.618 or a 3.618, but it does feel a little bit too soon for that. But we do have a stochastic RSI on this hourly that is indicating a push upwards. Okay, so as long as there's still momentum behind the price, we should be looking to push up. Now, wave 5, it's not. Well, there's two things here, right? Wave 3 is usually your overextended wave, and wave 5 is, usually reasonably long. And if the way that I've counted this, wave 1 is actually quite a reasonably sized length. So I would expect wave 5 here to be a little bit longer than that. So maybe we will actually come up to the resistance line of about 43,500, just over wicket a little bit, see if we can get that fifth wave a little bit longer, and then that might make a little bit more sense. Once this comes in, though, my expectation would be A, B, and C corrective move. And what I would want to see after that is another impulsive break to the upside. That would confirm a bit more of a trend to the upside overall, right, and a bit of a reversal out of here. As I said, what we want to do in ideal world is actually break higher than this this A wave high, right, if I can get my words out today. This would come in at about $45,500. If we can get to $45,500, we'll basically be effectively saying this B wave corrective move is over and we're going into the C wave up. Now, if you're familiar with the channel, I've been talking about $47,500 for what seems like a very long time at this point. But if I zoom on out here, you can see that we are heading out there with an A, B, C move. And this here is basically an A, B, C inside our C wave. So it's a little bit more complicated, but it is a kind of sideways trade, just edging up a little bit. And what we really want is we want that to go impulsive on the larger time frame. So for example, if I jump up into our daily and we actually just zoom in on this a second, you can actually get an idea a little bit clearer as to what that looks like, right? All of that is an A, a B, and the C coming up to about 47,500. Now, if that can turn impulsive on the daily and we actually start to grow this massively to the upside, then that actually sets the trend out of this current situation that we're in. And what that would mean is that we might actually end up with this move here, this 5 impulsive move upwards, and then an ABC kind of corrective move here, or it might even be more the 555 or something like that actually on the larger time frame. But what we're looking for is an impulsive move up towards at least the 1.618 on the weekly chart, which actually is indicating about $107,000 for Bitcoin. So we're in a very, very complex fourth wave correction here, and if I actually do shoot up into our into our weekly here, and you get an idea as to that scale. Now, it's not as complicated as some other charts, but it is a relatively complicated one. And what I want to see here is a huge break to the upside where we go up into new all-time high, and then effectively go impulsive from there to allow us to break that 1.618. Well, I want to break that 1.618, and I want to do it with one wave on our weekly chart, because that will allow us to then to effectively have a fourth wave correction and push a little bit higher, and to see if we can actually get a little bit higher towards that maybe 150, 180 kind of range with Bitcoin. So on the larger time frame, it's looking pretty good, but we have moved that weekly stochastic RSI up a little bit, but the monthly is still right in the ground, ready for a significant bump to the upside. Now, when I actually just zoom in on this weekly monthly chart, guys, you can see the last time that we were in the oversold position on this monthly, we were all the way down here, and it was about $3,500, $3,000. Right around this point, basically January 2019, before we got a significant push upwards, and we actually came down in the crash of March 2020, right? But we'd never actually made it to the oversold area, and actually where we are right now is lower on that stochastic RSI than we were right here when we had the pandemic crash and all of the stock market crashed, right? So this is actually a really good place for Bitcoin. I'm a little bit disappointed with the weekly. It's moved a little bit faster than I would have liked, but that's not too bad if we can get some momentum behind the price, which I think will come. It's a little bit disappointing that it's actually moved as much as it has. The daily can push up a little bit, but the 8-hourly does need to come down, and so does the 4-hourly. So we are looking for a corrective move once that fifth wave comes in on the smaller time frame. So to kind of summarize, guys, there are some interesting things in the news, right? We've seen the US wanting to finally put some kind of regulatory framework in place. And what that might look like in terms of good or bad, is potentially yet to be seen. But it does bother me a little bit that they want to kind of protect the legacy financial system that we know is already broken. But we do know that they want to use this technology to fix it, but also remain empowered through CBDCs, etc. Right? So I'm not too shocked and too surprised by that. We also have Dubai coming out with @𝗕𝗪𝗪 and trying to really lead the way. They're actually doing a lot, and they're going to entice a lot of business away from the US and other European countries over there. They've already seen a huge migration of crypto firms setting up in Dubai, for example. I imagine that's going to continue if they actually nail the frameworks and obviously have that third-party oversight to really help make sure that that is set in stone in a really good way. And that could actually really help the crypto space overall, and you will see a migration specifically from the US to Dubai a little bit more, I do feel. The charts are indicating some kind of small-term pullback, and we do expect some volatility on the smaller time frame. Small push up, maybe about 43,500 if we're lucky, 43,000 if we're not so lucky, and then we pull back down into an ABC move, correcting the hourly, the 4-hourly, the 8-hourly. But the bigger macro picture, all looking good for $47,500 on the daily, and of course moving up much higher towards the $100,000 on the weekly and the monthly charts. Everything is coming up Bitcoin right now, but do expect a little bit of volatility. We are also in uncertain times as well. It's really hard to know exactly what's going to happen with so many real world events actually occurring. So we do have to be, proceeding with caution, follow the waves, follow the analysis, follow the data, and see what's going to happen at the end of the rainbow, if you will. Now, guys, that does bring an end to this video. If you have found it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you are going to be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Go check it out. Completely free, fantastic community, a lot more analysis, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. Guys, with all that said, done and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.